Are you having a hard time keeping your cool in high pressure situations? Or you just can't seem to maintain the right amount of patience because of teammates? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you 3 effective steps that I've learned on how to overcome tilt and focus on becoming a better player. So let's get started. We unfortunately live in a world where the focus is heavily placed on the result. We see so much of this in social media, on streams or content creation, where everyone seems to be chasing after their end result, but never really placing the emphasis on what's important the most, and that is the journey, the process. You as the player need to recognize that tilt will come from trying to rush and pressure yourself to do unrealistic things which don't give you realistic results. What's really valuable is taking it slow and having a growth mindset, having a slow step-by-step and methodical approach, understanding where your strengths lie, where your weaknesses are, and refining yourself over time. Because the truth is that as you improve, so too will your rank. That's just a natural process of growth. But if you're focusing on just the result and you're not really understanding where you are in terms of your skill level, or at least areas of improvement that you need to work towards, then you're always going to be tilting, and you're always going to find yourself in scenarios where you're blaming a teammate for a mistake, but you don't recognize the mistakes you made. You're projecting it outwardly as opposed to looking at it from your own perspective. So what you need to be doing to avoid tilt is just focus on what you need to do. Focus on the growth of your own performance, taking note of what you need to chip away and refine. And slowly but surely, you're going to naturally see your rank improve without even thinking about it, because you're focusing on the most important thing, and that is you. Comparison is a thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to a streamer or a content creator or whatever they say to do as far as results. Don't focus on the result. Focus on the journey, and naturally the results will come into fruition. So let's move on to the second point. If comparison is a thief of joy, then trying to control other people is the thief of your own focus and self-value. Because ultimately, we just don't have that power to control things around us. Life in itself is unpredictable, and so too are the people that play with us. And so the harder we try to control them, the more tilted we become, because the truth is we just can't tell them what to do. And let's be honest, vice versa, if you were in that person's shoes and someone tried to tell you what to do, I'm sure you'd feel pretty upset as well. So to overcome tilt, it's very important to focus on what you can control, and that is your own thoughts, actions, and beliefs toward the game. That is where you can find the most enjoyment and the most improvement over time, where you're focusing on controlling how you perceive the game and how you perceive what's happening in the moment. If you unfortunately have to deal with bad teammates, let it go. It's just one game of many more. You can't let that one game bring you down. It's all about controlling your own emotions towards other people. But the harder and the more desperate you become to try and control them, you become tilted because it's frustrating you because they're not listening to you. So don't do that. Just listen to what you need to do, focus on the positive aspects, which is your own performance, and just move forward. Let that bad game go and tell yourself there are more games to play. There's a good chance that you'll likely run into better teammates and you'll have more proactive games. But the more you try to focus on controlling people, it's just not going to end well for you. Remember, at the end of the day, this is all about your own journey, your own growth. So you trying to control people or the outcome is only going to devalue your worth and make you feel less of a person. And ultimately, you're going to get upset at the most petty and unnecessary things. So let's move on to the last point. Far too often do many of us place too much emphasis on the success and oftentimes ignore the failures that come along with it. However, the most important part about this is accepting one's mistakes, or in this case, the failures along the way, because they play an integral role in your forward movement or trajectory towards the end goal. Failure is really truly the stepping stone towards building yourself as a player and really truly earning the rank you deserve. Far too often, once again, do so many of us place our attention on the rank, but then when we get there, we're not really ready for it. And that's because we ignored all the failures and all the mistakes we were making, and those mistakes slowly creeped up and haunted us and became bad habits. This is exactly why it's important to really nail down and really investigate what your mistakes are early on and really try to refine and remove those mistakes before they turn into really bad habits. So how do you go about doing that? For one, what I tend to do to avoid tilts in a lot of situations is I take a lot of mental note and also physical notes of my patterns of behavior during a game. Whether I'm over peaking or I'm crouching too much, I always take note of the mistakes I make every single game and try my best every single time to remove those mistakes to avoid them becoming dangerous down the road. So in closing, what's really important here is if you're looking to increase your rank, if you're looking to really develop yourself, don't focus on the rank itself because it's just a status. And we all know what chasing status ends up becoming. You end up getting to that status or getting to that rank, but then you're not fully prepared for the rank, and thus you end up hard stuck, or in most cases you derank, and then you end up getting upset about it, but not realizing that it's because of your lack of awareness and unwillingness to accept your failures that lead you to that path of confusion and frustration. So take as many notes as you can. Try and be proactive in terms of your note taking, really watching your VODs, reviewing them consistently. That's really the essence of real, true success. You have to love the game to see your growth. You can't just expect results to come your way, but then not love the journey along with it. So hopefully this has given you some insight on how to avoid your tilt and make you a better player over time. If you want to see more content like this on the channel, then be sure as always to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, new warriors, stay strong, keep fighting, and may the force be with you all, always. See you soon. Good luck. Peace.